you have this governance token that allows you to vote, and there's different ways of doing it, like you mentioned, one vote per person or based on how many tokens you have or whatever it is. Relative to a normal organization, how, and you know, in the NFT use case, it seems it's a little more straightforward. It's like, hey, we're going to vote on whether to purchase this NFT or not, or set of NFTs or whatever, and then we're going to purchase to, you know, make a decision to disperse them. For other types of organizations that maybe are not NFT based, like how like we're gonna hire a social media person or a community manager. We're going to make some capital investment of some kind. How has it impacted, or how does it impact decision making? Are people very conservative in how they make buying decisions? Like, how does that whole decision making process work?
Yeah, so I've seen this happen a few times. So there's a class of DAOs that are high total value locked DAOs, or asset under management. And so you can think of them as like the DeFi organization. So like, for example, Uniswap, the largest decentralized exchange, is a DAO, and it runs a DAO model. So anybody can actually propose something if you hold Uniswap tokens and say, I would like $20 million to do this education program for children, right? And if they get a certain percentage of the numbers to actually vote for this proposal, then the DAO must actually give them this money. So theoretically, anybody can go there and say, I want $1 million to do X. And if I can get enough people to agree with me, I can actually get that money. So there are, and this is, I don't say this pejoratively, it could be, but there are sites that are now popping up that allow you to bribe votes. I don't know if it's a feature or bug just yet, right? So if I hold a governance token in Uniswap and you came to me and said, I've got a great proposal, and to incentivize you, I'll give you an ETH to actually vote for this proposal. Is that unethical? As long as it's disclosed? I mean, I, as a DAO member, theoretically has a vested interest.
Right. Yeah, it's like lobbying, and you know, because I've heard folks project into the future and talk about how politics could adopt a model like this somehow. It sure seems like that would be one of the first things that people would do.
Right. I mean, bribery as a service is coming.
Right.
And there's a question as to whether the DAO, what the DAO wants to do about that. And I think literally the name makes it sound negative, but like it could be that that's just the nature of the organization. You are a vote holding member, and if you want to empty the treasury so that you have a gain, it's not necessarily illegal, right? In that sense. So the DAOs that actually have low value locked tend to actually perform more actions. If they want to hire, they're creating their own content, they're much more bootstrapped. But let's say they want to go hire a social media manager. What usually happens is that there's a committee. And so it says, hey, we're going to allocate, the treasury committee will allocate 1 million tokens per year to these 4 committees. And you know, they're free to do with these 1 million governance tokens as they wish, or these treasury tokens as they wish. And what the real creative DAOs are doing is they're creating liquidity pools for these tokens so that anybody can actually swap their DAOs tokens for actual ETH or fiat or stablecoin, and they will pay the social media manager in the native tokens of the DAO. In other words, it acts like an IOU than an actual cash payment.
To incentivize long-term behavior, I guess. I
mean, it's like, imagine if you were able to come up with your own like little country, and you're like, we have our own currency, and it's called Sean tokens. And if anybody respects the Sean token, and you know, there's some value,
there would not be anybody, but hypothetically,
but hypothetically, Sean's got his little mini kingdom, and now Sean's like, hey, I need an assistant. I will pay you 10,000 Sean tokens a month, and the person will have to make the decision as to like, is that worth it?
Right.
Not real money, but I can exchange it for real money.
Right.
Yeah, and that's an incredibly powerful treasury tool.